Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my husband's top and bottom perfumes of 2020. So I wasn't going to do like a 2020, but I've been with Dennis for 17 years and I've worn perfumes since I was a young girl. So it was a little hard. The list was getting a little too complicated. So I decided to go through scents that, since starting fragrance reviews here on my channel, and him knowing how much time I put into YouTube and him being super supportive, he has gone out of his way to either compliment me or tell me he doesn't like something. So I have a top and a bottom. So there's definitely other perfumes that he has mentioned that are not on this list. But again, these are perfumes that are top and bottom. Just so that we can keep this video a little short, because my videos have been very choppy because I've been getting very rambly. Like kind of what I'm doing right now. So we'll start off with the perfumes that Dennis has gone out of his way to not necessarily say he dislikes it, but to ask me what I'm wearing. And just so you know a little bit of background, you're not going to hear too many descriptions when it comes to Dennis. I will link my husband rates popular perfumes down in the description box below.
No, I don't like it.
You don't like that one?
Yeah.
Is there a reason?
What was the reason?
That's the most you're gonna get out of Dennis. He's not one to say, oh, that smells good because of this. But I know when he likes a perfume and when he dislikes a perfume by the way he says, what are you wearing? So that is his line. And you're gonna hear it a lot, but that's just me being truthful. You're also not gonna hear the word love. If I accidentally say love, it's because that's a habit for me to say. Dennis doesn't love things, he loves people. Dennis is very much a black and white kind of person. So he won't ever say, oh, I love that scent on you. Oh, I love what you're wearing. That's not Dennis's style. He'll tell me he loves me, but that's about it. So we'll start off with his bottom 5. And just like Dennis doesn't say he doesn't love something, he also doesn't say hate. These are perfumes that he either dislikes or he's not crazy about, and he's given me a reason. So the first perfume I'm going to mention is one that he likes, but has given him a reaction, and that is Zadig & Voltaire's This Is Her. So this is a perfume that I've worn and he's never really complimented me on. He's never gone out of his way to say that he likes it. And I wore this to bed one day and I might have oversprayed it, and a mixture between him already not feeling well and then me wearing this to bed, he got nauseous and he asked me to not wear this scent to bed anymore. So I don't know if it's the sandalwood in here or maybe the electronic note, but something in here didn't jive with him that night and he asked me not to wear it. Now I've worn it since then and he says, I don't dislike it, but just don't wear it to bed. So I know this isn't a favorite of his. It's one that I wear when I like go out with my sister or my mom, because this is one he doesn't care for. Okay, so the second one I would say is a dislike for him. He does not like this scent at all. And that is Dark Temptation by Beat Layered. And I just have a 10 ml of this. And there is something in the layered perfumes that Dennis picks up. So whereas Dennis isn't a frag head, he does have a super nose. We've always said that. He's someone that you can't throw away trash. I know that sounds weird. We have to wrap up the food and either take it outside or put it like in the fridge. You can't put it in the trash because he'll smell it coming from the trash. And for him, it'll stink up the house. Even though no one else can smell it, he can't. So he's always had like a super nose. And every time I was testing out the layered scents, he would always say it had something in them that was like smoky or like incense. And now revisiting these perfumes, I get what he's saying. Like most perfumes, like niche houses, they have a thing. Like they have something that kind of isn't a lot of their perfumes. Kind of like the Montal perfumes that I've tried, and I've been trying out some Herrera perfumes. There's just something about them that's kind of, not necessarily in all of them, but they have something that's their signature. And even though Layered is an inspiration house, a lot of them kind of have that. But he absolutely did not like Dark Temptation. This is supposed to be a dupe for Oud Bouquet. Now, I've worn Oud Bouquet and Shag Off Oud, and he says those are likable scents. They're not anything, he says, he would go out of his way to get me, but he does say that those are okay scents. He does not like Dark Temptation. And now, like, revisiting it, it is sharper. Like, it's kind of giving me a smokiness that I didn't used to get, but now that I know that the oud is a lot smoother in Shagaf Oud and Oud Bouquet, this is a lot sharper. And it is a little harder to swallow. But this is one he absolutely despises. And again, that's Dark Temptation by Layered. Okay, these next three, I kind of paired these a little bit together because these three specifically, he's gone out of his way to tell me that they smell cologne-y, like men's cologne. When I looked up the notes to these three perfumes, there was one thing I noticed in the base, and that is vetiver. That is a note that I noticed does not play well with some people, and it's specifically in these perfumes that I feel like you can pick up the vetiver, whereas other perfumes like which he loves, spoiler, sorry, but if you guys been watching me, you know he loves that perfume. Just very well blended. First up is First Kiss by Layered. I fell in love with First Kiss, and I still enjoy First Kiss, but now I do pick up the incense more in this one. I think that is what the sharpness is for me. But this is a perfume that he doesn't hate it. He just says it's like the cologne version. And I had layered this one time with Dancing Roses, and he still picked it out. He's like, did you spray that cologne again? That's how he gets under my skin, because he knows I hate it when he says that about my perfume. So recently I wore Jean Paul Gaultier's Labelle. And we got in the car and he's like, what are you wearing? I'm like, why? And when he says it like that, I know it's whatever's coming next isn't going to be nice. He didn't say he didn't like it. He's like, it smells like cologne. I'm like, so you don't like this one? Because to me, I get that juicy pear in the opening and it's sweet. But I will say this had dried down and we got in the car. So I think he picks up that vetiver. And he says, it's okay, but it smells cologne-y. And I'm like, but is that bad? And he's like, if you like that. Like, Dennis doesn't like to be mean. Does it smell like anything?
It smells like I don't like it.
Even though it comes across that way. But anyways, so we had a discussion about it later. Like, I was like, oh, you know, Labelle is popular in the perfume community. He goes, I don't care if it's popular in the perfume community. It smells like cologne. You can't tell him otherwise. Jean Paul Gaultier's Labelle to him smells like cologne, and that's not something he likes for me to smell like. He likes me to smell very feminine. And then recently I wore Idola by Navidus Perfume, and he asked me, are you wearing cologne? And I was like, Dennis, I don't wear cologne. He's like, well, I don't know what it is, but there's certain perfumes that you wear. So these three specific ones, First Kiss, Idola, and Labelle, were three that he said smell very cologne-y to him. And when I tried to look up to see what they all shared, they all share vetiver. Dennis really enjoys feminine scents. So now let's go ahead and go into his top. And these are perfumes that he's gone out of his way to ask me what I'm wearing. Mon Petit by YSL. This is a perfume that I wore to New Year's last year, and he asked me what I was wearing. And anytime I wear this perfume, you know, he tells me I smell good.
I like this one.
What does it smell like?
It smells like purple.
So this is one that he's mentioned on several occasions. So this was like in the beginning when I started my fragrance reviews. I had picked up Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, the Eau de Parfum. And this was a perfume that I wore to Thanksgiving last year. And when I sprayed it, and I remember he came out, he's like, what are you wearing? I'm like, you can smell it, because this is a perfume that I hear projects and lasts, but it's one that I don't smell it on me after a little bit. But I do get compliments wearing it. So he went out of his way to tell me, you smell good. And I'm like, what do you like about it? Because again, this is when I was starting. And he said, I don't know, it just smells very girly. And when he says girly, that's his way of saying feminine. So this is one that he has pointed out on a couple occasions when I've worn it and asked me, what are you wearing? So again, that is Mugler by Guerlain. Next is Carolina Herrera's Good Girl.
This one smells good, but
Yeah.
it doesn't smell the same on.
Don't try to balance it. Don't. And this is another one that anytime I wear this scent, he can pick it up. He picks this scent up very well. When I wore Love Potion by Layered, that is one that is probably the closest dupe that they have. He asked, oh, are you wearing that perfume? And I said, no, I'm wearing the perfume from Layered. And he goes, but that smells like something you have. And it's because he's very familiar with this one. And this is one that he enjoys. This is good. This is sexy. And this is one that whenever we get into the car, it like fills up the car. So that's usually when he asks what I'm wearing. When I wore Love Potion, he actually smelled that one in our kitchen. Like I was across the counter and we have vaulted ceilings. So I do feel like that one projects a little bit better than Carolina, because this one he usually will ask me if he's close to me or like if I'm in a car. But this is another one that on multiple occasions he's asked me what I'm wearing. Okay, now we're down to like my top two. And I don't know which of these two, I'm gonna have to ask him. But I'm gonna go with what I think is his favorite. But definitely these are the top two. And the first one I'm gonna mention is Alien by Mugler. Dennis likes Alien and these flankers. Anytime I wear these perfumes, he can tell that it's an Alien. This is a perfume that he really enjoys, but it's not overly feminine. He says that it's loud, different, and clean. So he picks up the jasmine. This is like a very clean, soapy jasmine. And he says it smells expensive. That's why he likes it. Anytime I wear that perfume or a flanker, he asks if I'm wearing that perfume. And because he's not familiar with all the names, I know what he's asking me. Call it lover's intuition. I don't know. But I always know what he's saying. So that will lead me into the top. And that is Delina. I want to say this is his favorite. It's definitely my favorite in my collection.
Oh, I don't know how to describe it, but it's probably my favorite thus far.
And I did not get this sent to me. My mom purchased this perfume. I had purchased the sample on FragranceNet and she knew how much I wanted it and she wanted to support my channel. So for Christmas, she got it for me. And the only reason why I mentioned that is because I see so much hate with this perfume. Like you can't love it if you got it for free. And that's just not true. So this perfume, and we're going to go ahead and just spray it because... oh my goodness. So I do pick up the spiciness in this one. It's not overly incense to me, but there is kind of this spice. And I know some people have mentioned pink pepper. I don't see it listed, but this is more spicy than pink pepper. This doesn't just tickle my nose. This is a spiced rose, but a very feminine rose. But this isn't about me. This is about what happens when I wear this. Whenever I wear this perfume, Dennis always asks, are you wearing that one? This is another one that he says smells expensive. So to him, this smells like money. Like you smell like money when you have Alien on. This one, he says it smells like an expensive perfume. Like he says it smells quality. It's one that I wouldn't mind Dennis getting into niche. I want to start beefing up his collection. I am starting with designer because they're just cheaper. But he does really have a good super nose. Again, he can always tell the difference between these two. And I think that First Kiss is a pretty decent dupe. I feel like it's the opening that is the most different. And then once it dries down, I feel like they're pretty close. But he can tell. Even if I've had this on all day, to him, this is cologne. This one, no. This one, he says, it smells like an expensive perfume. So this is one that I do think, I don't know for sure. These are the two that I would say are neck and neck. Every time I wear it, he's always asking what I'm wearing. And then this one follows very closely behind it. Those are definitely perfumes that on multiple occasions he has asked me what I'm wearing or if I'm wearing that perfume. But I get him, like I know what he's asking me. Again, Dennis is a man of very few words. So, but that will do it for today's video. I know it was kind of all over the place. It just came to me because I started noticing, especially this past year, Dennis really giving me his thoughts. I'm glad he doesn't give me his thoughts on all perfumes. Sometimes I have to ask him and he'll just say, oh, it's nice. That's how I know that these 5 are perfumes he really likes and these 5 not so much, because he's gone out of his way to really let me know. Whereas some other perfumes like Lancome Doll, Si Passione, like some of my other perfumes, my fruity florals, he'll just say, oh, yeah, you smell good. Or like I'll ask him, what do you think of this perfume? And he'll be like, oh, it smells good. You smell like shampoo. Or, oh, you smell good. It smells clean. These are perfumes that, again, he's gone out of his way to ask on multiple occasions what I'm wearing. So I know it sounds very repetitive because he doesn't use a lot of words to describe things. I have to pull it out of him. I do want to film another video soon with him because I know a lot of you guys asked him to come back. So that should be coming in the new year. I also want to film one with my sister. But yeah, that will do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of your significant others' top perfumes for you, or what are some of your compliment getters? Like maybe you're single. Who follows you around to let you know what smells good? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.